It was a Wednesday afternoon in September. Children were walking home from school. Fishermen were mending nets along the docks. Shoppers moved through downtown Providence without umbrellas. The New York Times that morning had run the official government forecast. Rain, probably heavy, today and tomorrow, cooler. Nobody knew. Nobody warned them. The storm had been born far away. A tropical disturbance near the Cape Verde Islands, spotted gathering strength over the eastern Atlantic in early September 1938. By September 16th, ships 350 miles northeast of San Juan reported towering seas and ferocious winds. The United States Weather Bureau had no satellites, no radar, no reconnaissance aircraft. They were reading the ocean through the reports of ships, and even those were days late. By the time the Bureau knew a serious hurricane existed, it was already enormous. The standard playbook said it would curve harmlessly out to sea. Every hurricane that had threatened the northeastern coast in living memory had done exactly that, approached from the south, turned, and dissolved over cold, open water. The Jacksonville, Florida office issued warnings on September 19th that it might brush Florida. Then it turned north. Forecasters in Jacksonville and Washington both expected it to coast off the Carolinas and vanish into the Atlantic. They were wrong. There was one man who saw what was coming. Charles Pierce was 28 years old, a junior forecaster, filling in for senior staff. On the morning of September 21, he studied the pressure charts. He concluded that the storm would be squeezed between two high-pressure systems and forced to ride straight up a trough of low pressure directly into New England. He walked into the noon meeting and said so. His supervisors overruled him. At 10 o'clock that morning, with the hurricane already churning toward Long Island, Washington actually downgraded it, called it a tropical storm. The 11:30 advisory mentioned gale-force winds, not a hurricane, not a warning. The New York City office had not been forwarded any information at all. The storm was moving at nearly 50 miles per hour, more than twice the normal forward speed of a hurricane. That speed was part of why it survived. Normally, a hurricane slows and weakens as it crosses the cooler waters of the mid-Atlantic. This one raced so fast it never had time to weaken. It tracked up the Gulf Stream's warm ribbon, arriving at Long Island's south shore as a Category 3 storm, its central pressure measured at 27.94 inches at Bellport. Maximum sustained winds, 120 miles per hour. It made landfall at approximately 2:30 in the afternoon. The timing could not have been worse. It was the autumnal equinox, when the gravitational pull of the sun and moon both tug at the sea together, creating astronomically high tides. The ground across New England was already saturated from days of earlier rain. Rivers were swollen to their banks, and then the storm surge hit. Along the Rhode Island and Connecticut coasts, walls of water 18 to 25 feet above normal sea level swept over barrier islands. Napertree Point, a slender spit of land near westerly Rhode Island, was completely submerged and obliterated, its cottages swept to nothing. The surge drove north into Narragansett Bay, which, funnel-shaped, squeezed and amplified the water as it roared toward Providence. By the time it reached downtown, the storm tide stood nearly 14 feet above the streets. Motorists were drowned in their cars. Storefronts were submerged to their second floors. In a Providence bank vault, the original 1764 charter of Brown University was found washed clean. The water had erased every word of text from the parchment.
You know that this podcast has a supporters club? By becoming a supporter of the show, you can gain access to exclusive content and play an active role in helping the podcaster continue producing the content you love. See the link in the episode description for more details. Now, let's get back to the episode.
If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing and sharing with other people.